Good morning, everybody. This is DearMamaSal on a very rainy Thursday morning. Yay, Thursday. 7 degrees here in southern British Columbia, which would make it 44 in American. And we have had a really bad storm here overnight. Woke me up a couple of times, and it took out the power. I'm not sure for how long. The reason I know that is my oven was blinking at me and telling me that. Everything that was electrical was blinking and telling me that. And I thought it was a wonderful opportunity to talk about storms in our lives. So, does it make any sense that I could look at the fact that I had to go and reset clocks and do all those sort of things and be muttering and grunting because I'm late for work now, and I had to sort of make sure everything was safe because of the storm and that no damage had been done to the house or stuff like that. So, makes you a little bit later than you want to be. I could be complaining about that in big time. Or, as I did, I can walk around thinking how lucky I am that I'm not homeless and had to survive that storm without a roof over my head. And for a minute, just imagine this horrendous storm that we had, rainstorm and windstorm. I don't know what the winds were, but I'm pretty sure that they were pretty dramatic. Imagine that huddled in a corner somewhere, maybe using cardboard to try and protect yourself. Well, we know what happens to cardboard in that sort of rain. So, actually, as I'm sitting here right now in my car is being moved, and this is not a light car. I can feel my car rocking side to side. I'm watching the trees as well. The wind still is pretty heavy. And so I was thinking how lucky I am. How lucky I am to have a roof over my head. How lucky I am to be able to need to reset my fancy oven and stove, whatever you call it, range, blah, blah. How lucky I am. How many people have got ovens that have got timers on them? Not many in the world. And how lucky I am to be late for work. I have a job. How lucky I am. To have these problems. So often in my life, I remind myself that I sit in the top, I believe it's the top 5% of the world. And it's possible it's even higher than that. It might be even the top 2 or 3% for all I know these days. I don't know. But what I do know is that I live in a country that affords me an incredibly luxurious lifestyle. Based on the rest of the world. And I am forever grateful for that. 99.999% of the time. There are days when, I don't wake up quite on the right side. But on the whole, I really do try to work very hard to be grateful. And I believe that whenever I don't feel grateful, I go back to Jerry Jampolsky's Love is Letting Go of Fear, or there are only two emotions rather. There are only two emotions, love or fear. And I can see time and time again that when I don't think like that, when I don't think with gratitude, then I'm thinking in fear. Now, you can say, well, it's all right for you, Sal, you know, a tree didn't fall on your house. You're right. But if you remember, a year ago, 3 of them nearly did. And it caused quite a lot of uproar in my house for a while. Luckily, didn't damage my house. So I believe that this is really what the storm is about for me. As I get older, and that's all I can share with you, is my realities now that I'm older. They weren't my realities when I was young, because I didn't understand when I was young. But I can tell you right now that I am so grateful. I have spoken to you guys a little bit recently about this weekend. I'm going to the big World Rugby Sevens tournament here in Vancouver. And as I think I've explained to you, that Dougie and I started Rugby Sevens here in Vancouver, in the British Columbia. And I mean, started it as a competition. And we received absolutely no support from the governing body of the sport. And so for 5 years we put this event on, and eventually we ran out of money, which is understandable. And I could be very angry about the fact that here we are 5 years later, and this is a huge event, sold out, at a big stadium in downtown Vancouver. When I say sold out, it's, you know, they've sold more tickets than they ever expected to. Huge event. And I could be really angry about that. It's not fair. How come they got to do it and we didn't? And as I have so often said to people who have asked me is, you know, we started it. We might not have made the money from it, but we started it. We believed in it. We did what was necessary to get the ball rolling. And nobody can take that away. Wow. The water level here is very high. Scary high. I cross a river that has floodgates on it that get shut down and released, and even I presume that the gates are open. Even with that, the level of the water is right up and almost higher than the big openings in the dam. Wow, that's really high. Some of the highest I've seen, in fact. So do you understand? I can be really quite angry about the fact that that's not fair. We should have made the money. Well, yeah, I guess so. If the only reason we did it was to make money, I guess we could get really angry. But we did it because we believed it needed to be done, and we did it. And we did it well, so we were told. Very well. By the way, the ticket, I will take a picture of it in the next couple of days, but the ticket is a keepsake. It's such a beautiful ticket. And, you know, it's a VIP type suite ticket. When I say suite, not as in suite, I mean as in a suite. VIP suite type thing. So it's very, very glamorous looking ticket. Hangs around your neck. Yay. Says you're important. And my seat number is 101. I like that. So there's always going to be a storm in your life. For those of you who think that life is about sunshine, no. And if you want to know what makes for a happier life, I don't mean totally happy, but a happier life, it's being able to weather the storm. It's being able to stay grounded when the bad stuff hits. And not panic too much. And I think that would be what most people of my age would tell you, which is, I think as a young person, I overreacted to a lot of things. Why? Because I didn't know how to cope with them. I hadn't got the experience of finding out I could actually cope with this. It's a bit like being more than a little bit terrified of retiring. Because I'm not sure how I'm going to cope. But, you know, I've got enough experience behind me of myself to know that I will find a way. And I don't see that it's going to be easy necessarily, but I will find a way. That's who I am. So think about that today. Think about how lucky you are. Think about the fact that I've got to quote Nana again because she wrote to me again yesterday. And said, you know, I can't remember what her wording was, but it had to do with, was she strange because she found it somewhat weird that people would pay good money to buy ripped up jeans, or jeans with holes in them, slits in them. And the only time her jeans ever had holes in them is when she wore them out through hard work. And I thought that was again another great visual. You know, how come we pay huge amounts of money for worn out jeans? In fact, we actually put them through a process to wear them out as well. Right? Stone tossed jeans and so forth. We actually put them through a process so they're not new. Go figure. Or as I was saying somewhere yesterday, you know, we pay a fortune for a cup of coffee. How spoiled are we, really? Or we buy bottled water, really believing that it does come from an iceberg somewhere. And I'm not saying that some don't, or that some do, but it's just like, I don't think they all do. I think some people made an awful lot of money opening up the faucet and throwing the bottle underneath. So we waste a lot of money. Now, there are a lot of viewers I know around the world, because I've heard from you, that don't have those luxuries. And what I am amazed about is, from my experience of having traveled the world, that I have discovered that a lot of the people with next to nothing are a lot happier than the people who have a lot. It seems like the more we have, the more we want. And so look at the storm in your life, whatever that might be, and find reasons to be grateful. Not for the storm, but to be grateful that you're still around. Be grateful that you can still think. You've still got a brain that can have emotion. Be grateful that you can still walk to the stove and change the time and the microwave and things like that. Be grateful for those things. I can still get to the kitchen. A lot of people can't. And then you look at your life and realize that, okay, I'm going to be a bit late for work, and I'm probably not the only one. But as it is, I'm going to be maybe 3 minutes late, 4 maybe. Yay, I'm happy with that, considering. Weather the storm. Yeah, and there's a house with part of the siding being blown off. Actually, that's what I've been watching for as I've been driving, is are there any trees that are under, look like they're under more stress than normal, or any roofs that look like they're about to blow. It's actually calmed down quite a bit now. One last thought. When there's a storm, as there was this morning, I don't even bother to put up my umbrella or put up the hood of my raincoat. I just walk out of my door and walk to my car, which admittedly is all of about 15 steps. I find I do less damage to my hair and less damage to umbrellas or anything else just by walking. And I don't rush, I don't run. I just walk the same way as I would if it were a beautiful day. I don't want to slip and fall. I just want to get to my car safely. All right, think about that. Weather the storm, people. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, look after yourselves as well as you look after other people. Be grateful for what you have today, and weather whatever storm is on your doorstep at the moment. Bye-bye for now.